Hello, one and all present here. This is Amit Kumar Singh, and welcome to my class on understanding the properties of a triangle. So, whenever we are talking about triangle, and so the basic mathematics law which help us to understand a triangle is called trigonometry. So, when we talk about trigonometry, the word itself talks about a definition like trigonon means triangle, and metry basically means the measurement. So whenever we are trying to assess a triangle, already I believe you have seen my video on concept of triangle. So I think around 2 hour video I have made where I talked about what triangles are all about. I talked about the classification of triangle on the basis of sides or the basis of angles, and then we studied the measurement of angles on a triangle. Probably we try to understood the properties of centroid or orthocenter or probably circumcenter or incenter. We have discussed about all of them. We talked about equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, the concept of area and all. So I spent a lot of time understanding the properties of triangle already. So whenever you look triangle as algebra point of view. So when we talk about algebra, algebra is all about measurement. So whenever you see triangles where you are trying to work on the magnitude, so you're not just working on understanding the properties of a triangle or trying to work on the concept of similarity or congruency to understand the nature of the triangle. Here what I'm more interested about, I'm more interested how can I use this property of triangle in actual science. So can I use this in astronomy? Can I use this property of triangle in the construction of building? Can I use this in navigation? So there the discipline of maths which help you to do that is called trigonometry. So primarily when we are trying to understand trigonometry, we need to understand a few assessment trigonometric ratios. Like those ratios can be sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, sec theta, cot theta. So already I have made 4 videos and now on trigonometry, and you can watch those videos. They are in playlist to understand more about the basics on the triangle. So if you are watching this video, so I'm assuming that you have a preliminary knowledge about what is sine theta, what is cos theta, what is tan theta, what is cosec theta, what is sec theta, what is cot theta. So I believe you have that preliminary knowledge. So even then, if you don't have a quick revision, I'll do that. So first, we can apply the properties of triangle in any form of triangle. Either the triangle is acute angle triangle or it is right angle triangle, obtuse angle triangle. But just for a even then, for the layman purpose, let understand this property of triangle on right angle triangle. So you know Pythagoras theorem, and according to Pythagoras theorem, you know that x square is equal to a square plus b square. Fine. Now if this is angle called theta, and if this is angle called alpha, so if I am working with context of an angle called theta, so what is theta? Theta is the measurement. Theta is the angle. What is angle? So in circular system, so in trigonometry, whenever we study trigonometry, in trigonometry we study basically trigonometry under three system. Either it is sexagesimal system, or either it is centesimal system, or either it's circular system. So I'm talking the term of circular system. If you're trying to understand the triangle in the context of a circular, in the context of circular system, then basically angle is basically it is a distance. It is a distance what a arc made from the center of the circle to the by convert from the center of the circle to the toward the circumference of the circle. So from one point to the other point on the circumference of the circle, so the distance which is equal to the radius of the circle, so the distance which is called the arc, so that the distance what is created, that is basically called as the angle. So basically when we are trying to measure the length of arc in a circular system, so in order to measure the length of arc, we follow theta by 360 degree into 2 pi r. So and this arc So whenever you try to understand this arc, so that the relationship of this arc with respect to the center of the circle, where it cover a distance, basically in a circular system, that is basically called as angle. So when we're trying to understand the angle, so it is the amount of rotation from one initial point to the another termination point, that is called as angle. So I'll talk about sexagesimal or centesimal or circular system later on. For the time being, what you need to understand, like if I'm talking in the context of this angle called theta, so you know that the sum of theta plus alpha here, you know that the sum of theta plus alpha here would be 90 degrees. So if it is 90 degree, then you know that they are called as complementary. So the sum of two angle, if it 90 degree, so they are complementary to each other. While if the sum of two angle is 180 degree, then they are said to be supplementary to each other. So if I'm talking the term of theta, so the side which is opposite to theta is called as perpendicular, while the side which is adjacent to theta is called as the base, while the side which is opposite to the 90 degree, that is called as hypotenuse. So whenever you talk about sine theta, so sine theta, whenever you talk about sine theta, so basically sine theta is basically a perpendicular divide by hypotenuse, that is basically sine theta, and the opposite of sine theta, so whenever you see sine theta, the opposite of sine theta is called as cosec theta. So the opposite of sine theta is called as cosec theta. Similarly, there's another term which you should know, that is called cos theta. And whenever you say cos theta is adjacent divide by hypotenuse. That is called as cos theta, and the opposite of cos theta is called as sec theta. So whenever you say opposite of cos theta, that is called as sec theta. Fine. So whenever you see the opposite of cos theta, that will be called as a sec theta. Now the next trigonometric ratio, what you should know, that is called as tan theta. So when we say tan theta, so tan theta is basically perpendicular divide by base. That is called as tan theta. While the opposite of, or so the opposite is not the correct word. While the inverse of tan theta is called as cot theta. So the inverse of a tan theta is called as cot theta. So everyone have the basic knowledge about sine theta, cos theta, cosec theta, sec theta, cot theta. So whenever we say tan theta is basically sine theta divided by cos theta. And whenever we say cot theta is basically cos theta divided by sine theta. So this basic knowledge definitely everyone have about trigonometric ratios. So going further to work on whenever we go further to work on the trigonometric ratios, this is what sine theta or cos theta, which you can see, or tan theta. The inverse of sine is cosec, the inverse of cos is sec, the inverse of tan is cot. So when we go ahead and we try to understand basically the angle calculation. So if you remember only sine theta also, then you can simultaneously you can find the other angle values. So just try to remember the value from value of sine theta from 0 to 360 degree. So you should, if you know the sine theta value, you can gradually find the cos theta value, because everyone knows that the sine theta is equal to cos 90 minus theta. So everyone knows this. So sine theta is equal to cos 90 minus theta, and then tan theta is sine theta by cos theta. Then cot theta is cos theta divided by sine theta. Sec theta is 1 by cos theta, while cosec theta is 1 by sine theta. So then finding other angles would be very easy for you. Just you try to remember the value of sine theta. So if you know the value of sine theta, then working on other angle calculation will not be difficult for you. Fine. So basically, in trigonometry, we understand the angles in trigonometry by going through four quadrants. So we look into the four quadrants to understand the angles in trigonometry, where you can see this is 0 degree. This is pi by 2. Pi by 2 means 90 degree. Pi means 180 degree, while 3 pi by 2 is 270 degree, and then 2 pi means 360 degree. So any angle if you consider between 0 to 90 degree, then they are in first quadrant. Any angle if you see more than 90 degree but less than 180 degree, then they are in second quadrant. While any angle which is more than 180 degree but less than 270 degree, then they are in third quadrant. While any angle which is more than 270 degree but less than 360 degree, then they are in fourth quadrant. So you should know this. Now the thing what you need to know, that basically whenever you do angle calculation and all, so you need to remember one thing, that any angle conversion which you take from 0 to 90 degree, then it doesn't matter that the sine get converted into cos or cos get converted into sine. All that conversion or sine will remain sine, 10 will remain. All that what all that right now, that doesn't matter. What is matter is basically the first, the sine. So whenever we talk about a trigonometric ratio conversion, so any angle conversion which you consider between 0 degree to 90 degree, so they are in first quadrant, and there everything would be positive. While if you talk about any angle conversion which is more than 90 degree but less than 180 degree, then you are in second quadrant, and in second quadrant only the sine and cosec uh, will remain uh, will remain positive, while the other will be become negative. While if you talk about any angle which is more than 180 degree but less than 270 degree, then you are in third quadrant, and in third quadrant only tan theta and cot theta will remain positive, and rest other angle conversion, trigonometric ratio conversion will give you negative value. Fine. While similarly in fourth quadrant, cos and sec theta will be positive. So you can remember this with a common what is analogy, that is all school to college. Here all means first quadrant means everything will be positive. Second quadrant only the sine and cosec will be positive. In third quadrant only the tan and cot will be positive, and in fourth quadrant cos theta and sec theta will be positive. Then the next thing what you can remember while you do conversion, the next thing what you need to remember whenever you talk about conversion is that basically you can represent all the angles. So whenever you talk about conversion, basically you can represent all angles in the term of pi by 2. You can represent all angle in the term of pi by 2. So now in the multiple of pi by 2. So imagine if I'm asking you 120 degree. So 120 degree is 90 plus 30 degree, or it can be 180 minus 60 degree. So basically whenever you talk about conversion, so in conversion you can represent either the sine theta or cos theta or tan theta, cot theta, whatever. You can write them in this form: n pi by 2 plus minus theta. While if n is even, then sine will remain as sine, cos will remain as cos, tan will remain as tan, cot will remain as cot, cosec will remain as cosec, like that. While if n is odd, then the sine will become cos, cos will become sine, the tan will become cot, the cot will become tan, the sec will become cosec, and cosec will become sec. So that you can keep in your mind uh, for normal calculation or conversion. You can see here, this is what I'm talking about. So this is first quadrant, this is first quadrant. In first quadrant all angles are positive, so irrespective of angle. Here you can see 90. Whenever you talk in the term of 90, then you know that 90, so you can write in whenever you write sine pi by 2, so there n is 1, So the n is odd, so definitely the sine should get convert into cos, cos should convert into sine, tan would get convert into cot, cot will get convert into tan, cosec will get convert into sec, sec will get convert into cosec. So whenever you do the conversion in first quadrant, all would be positive. While if you talk a conversion in second quadrant only the sine and cosec are positive. That's why you can see although sine 90 plus theta, so 90 plus, so there n is odd, so the sine will get converted into cos, but the sine will be positive. While if you see cos 90 plus theta, it will become minus sine theta. Okay, tan 90 plus theta, it will become minus cot theta. Fine. So with similarly, if I talk about any angle which is more than 180 degree, then it is you are in third quadrant. So in third quadrant, only the tan theta and cot theta would be positive, while rest other conversion, if you do, that would be negative. So any angle here, it doesn't matter. You can write 180 plus also. You can write 270 minus also, doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter. Like if I say like something like what is sine 210 degree. So sine 210 degree. So I can write this as sine 2 pi by 2 means 180 degree plus 30 degree, or I can write this as sine, this is 3 pi by 2 means 270 minus 60 degree. So both mean same thing, but here the n is even. So because the n is even, then it is then the sine will remain as sine. So but 180 plus, so you are in third quadrant. So this will be minus sine 30 degree. Similarly, sine pi by 2. So here the n is odd. So 3. So its sine will become cos. Okay, but you are in third quadrant. So you are in third quadrant. So in third quadrant, only the tan and cot are positive. So you will get minus cos 60 degree. And I believe everyone have the knowledge that so either you talk about uh, cos 60 degree or sine 30 degree, all mean same thing 1 by 2. So this you can write as sine 90 minus 60 degree. So this would be minus 1 by 2, and this would be minus 1 by 2. So that conversion part you can keep in your mind whenever you see the problem. You can keep that in your mind. Right? So you can see this. So you can see, so whenever you see sine minus theta means you are in fourth quadrant. So instead of writing 0 degree or 360 degree, so we can ignore them also. The sine minus theta, because in fourth quadrant, so that is minus sine theta. Cos minus theta would be cos theta, while tan minus theta would be minus tan theta. So then cosec minus theta would be minus cosec theta. I believe you can see sec minus theta would be sec theta, because you are in fourth quadrant. Then cot minus theta would be minus cot theta. Similarly, you can see 90 minus. 90 minus means you are in first quadrant. So in first quadrant, everything is positive. Then you can see 90 plus. In 90 plus, you are in second quadrant. There only the sine and cosec will remain positive. So you can see sine 90 plus theta, cos theta. Cos 90 plus theta is minus sine theta, because you are in second quadrant. So tan 90 plus theta is minus cot theta, while cot 90 plus theta is minus tan theta. Sec 90 plus theta would be minus cosec theta, and cosec 90 plus theta is equal to sec theta. Then you can see 180 minus. So 180 is there, so sine will remain as sine. Okay, the cos will remain as cos. So 180 minus, if you think about, then again you are in second quadrant. Again there the sine and cosec, you can see there the sine will remain positive, while the rest of them everything will be negative. 180 plus, then you are in third quadrant. 180 plus, only the tan and cot will remain positive. 180 plus, so only the tan and cot will remain positive. Although 180 degree is there, so sine will give you sine, the cos will give you cos, the sec will give you sec, but but the sign again is very important factor to we always keep in our mind. The next thing you can remember in trigonometry, you can keep with you as that one property that sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. You can remember them. Then 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta. 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta. And then the next thing is 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosec square theta. So 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosec square theta. So this we can remember them and we can keep them. So this will be helpful for solving many numerical. Already I have made around 4 videos on trigonometry till now, and there already I have discussed a few numerical based on this formula. So again, this is very important formulas of trigonometric ratios which we need to always keep in our mind. Fine. So basically, the few things like if I talk about the system called sexagesimal system. So if I talk about the system called sexagesimal system, so basically when we talk about sexagesimal system, in sexagesimal system we define one right angle. We define one right angle uh, as an angle as a distance between the initial and termination point as the distance which you can divide into 90 equal parts. So whenever you see 90 degree, so it is a distance which you can divide as a 90 equal part, where probably one right angle is basically whenever you talk about a right angle, so you divide them into 90 equal part where each equal part is called as degree. So 90 equal part. So one right angle is divided into 90 equal part where each part is called as degree. Where each part is called as degree. So when we say degree, when we use the word called degree, it is 1 by 90th of a right angle. So you need to remember that whenever you say 90 degree, whenever you say 90 degree, you need to understand this part. So whenever we say 1 degree, so it is basically 1 by 90th of a right angle. So that we can always remember in sexagesimal system. So whenever we say one right angle, it is divided to 90 equal part, which we called as a degree. Fine. So then further, what you can remember then, so you understand this. Then further, you can divide each degree into 60 minutes. So you can divide 1 degree. Whenever you say 1 degree, you can divide. You can write them as 60 minutes. You can divide 1 degree into minutes. So 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, while 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So this is the way how we represent second, and this is the way how I can represent minute. Okay, so 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, while 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So you can remember this is hexadecimal system. This is hexadecimal system. Then the next system, which is not so relevant, is a centesimal system where you can divide one right angle into 100 equal part, which is called as grades, where each grade is further divided into 100 minutes, and while every minute is further divided into 100 seconds. So whenever I say one right angle, so basically I'm talking about 100 grand. So basically, whenever I'm saying one right angle, so that is equal to 100 grades, while one grade is equal to 100 minute, while 1 minute is equal to 100 seconds. So like when you study hexadecimal system, there one right angle is equal to 90 degree, and 1 degree is equal to 60 minute, and 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Similarly, in centesimal system, one right angle is equal to 100 equal part, where each equal part is called as grade, where where 1 grade is equal to 100 minutes, and 1 minute is equal to 100 seconds. That is centesimal system. And then we have next system called circular system. So whenever we say circular system in trigonometry, whenever we are trying to study circular system in trigonometry, in so in circular system, we define angle, we define angle we define angle by the term we define angle by the term in radian. We define angle by the term called in radian, which is a measure of angle subtended at the center of the circle by an arc of length equal to the radius of the circle. So that is basically called as radian. So whenever we say radian, normally we represent radian like this. So where 1 radian is equal to 180 degree by pi. So whenever I say 1 radian is equal to 180 degree by pi, where 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 degree. So where 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 degree. So you can remember this. So if I say 30 degree, so what is the value in pi? 30 degree is pi by 6 radian. So if I say 60 degree, 60 degree is pi by 3 radian. So you can remember this. So where 1 radian is equal to pi by 180 degree, you can remember, while while uh, so while 1 radian is equal to 180 degree by pi. This is the one thing you can remember. The next thing you can remember is 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 degree. So, so it is very important. So if I say 30 degree, so 30 degree is pi by 6, 60 degree is pi by 3, 270 degree is 3 pi by 2. So this is something which we can remember and which we are using on the from not now, probably from 6 to 7 standard, from the time we are understanding triangle or we are studying trigonometry, we are using them. Right. So basically, if I go further and if I talk about these questions, like in circular system, the value of this angle. So what is this angle? So this angle is 11 degree 15 minute. So what is the value of this angle? So what is the value of this angle? So 15 minute, you know that 15 minute, I can convert the minute into degree. So this, if I convert minute into degree, this become 11 1 by 4. So this become 45 by 4. This become 45 by 4 degree. This has become 45 by 4 degree. So you know that 1 degree is equal to 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radian. 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radian. So 45 by 4 degree. So 45 by 4 degree. So that become 45 by 4 into pi by 180. So if you solve this, so if you solve this, so space is less, so leave it. I'll do something else. Hmm. So this is, now you know that whenever you say degree, so whenever you say degree, so degree means 1 degree is made of 59 minutes. Sorry, 1 degree is made of 60 minutes, and one minute is made of 60 seconds. So you can understand this. So here the angle is 11 degree 15 minute. So 11 degree 15 minutes. So I can write this as 11 15 by 60. So I can convert the minute into degree. So this is 11 1 by 4. So this is 45 by 4 degree. So you know that, now you know that 1 degree is equal to pi by 180. So 45 by 4 degree is equal to 45 by 4 into pi by 180. So this is 45 4 so this is pi by 16. So this answer for question number 1 is option is option 1. So pi by 60 radian. Now if you see question number 2, in triangle ABC, the angle ABC means angle B is 75 degree, and ACB is pi by 4. Pi by 4 means you know that 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi. So if I'm asking you what is pi by 4, so that is nothing but 45 degree. So one of the angle is 75 degree, the another angle is 45 degree. Now the total sum of angle in a triangle is 180 degree. So 75 plus 45, so 75 uh, plus 45 is 120, is 120 degrees. So the remaining angle would be how much? 60 degree, and 60 degree is how much? That is pi by 3. And then you can see the next question, the circular measure of a triangle, the circular measure of a triangle, the circular measure of a angle of isosceles triangle is 5 pi by 2. So so the circular system of one of the other angle must be, so you know that the total angle should be 180 degree. You know that the total sum of angle, so 180 degree you can write as pi. So 180 degrees pi. So you the here the two angles are equal. So here your two angles are equal. This is A, this is A, and this is suppose 5 pi by 9, something like that. The sum of all the angles in the triangle is 180 degree. So 2A plus 5 pi by 9, the sum of that is 180 degree. So you need to understand here that 2A, because the isosceles triangle, so the two sides and their adjacent angles should be definitely uh, should be considered. Here two angles, 2A plus 5 pi by 9, 2A plus 5 pi by 9 is equal to pi 180 degree. So 2A is equal to pi minus 5 pi by 9. So 2A is equal to 4 pi by 9. So A is equal to pi by 9, 2 pi by 9. This is the value of the A. So A is equal to 2 pi by 9, where pi is equal to 180. So, so, so the other angle is 2 pi by 9. Hmm. So you can see now the fourth question. So the so the degree measure of 1 radian is equal to how much? So this is, you can remember this. So you know that 1 radian, whenever I'm saying 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi. So, and you know that pi is equal to 22 by 7, which is not a actual value of pi, because we know that pi is a irrational number, so we cannot write them in the form of p by q. Just for normalization purpose, we write them in p by q form. So that way, when you solve, where you know that 1 degree is equal to 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, and 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So 1 radian is equal to, in place of pi, you can write 3 by 4 or 22 by 7. If you solve them, we will get the value called 57 degree, 16 minute and 22 seconds. So you can remember this. So if you solve it, you'll get this answer only. Fine. So that way it will help for the calculation purpose. So it will help. So that way it normally it always be helpful So whenever we see, we can consider hmm, fine. So now the next question, 3 pi by 5 in radian is equal to how much? So you know that 1 radian is equal to 180 degree by pi. So 3 pi by 5 is equal to 180 by pi. This is pi get cancelled. This pi get cancelled. This is 36 degree. 36 6 3s are 108 degree. Then you can see the next question. The sum of two angle is 135 degree. The sum of two angles is 135 degree, and the difference is pi by 12. Pi by 12 means 180 by 12. 180 by 12 means that is equal to 15 degree. So what is the circular measurement of the greater angle? So this is 15 degree. This is 15 degree. Fine. So the measure of the greater angle, the sum of two angle is 135 degree, and the difference. So you can write, suppose two angle is alpha and beta, that is 135 degree, and their product is 15 degree. So you can write 2 is equal to 150 degree. So alpha is equal to 75 degree. 75 degree, when I see 75 degree, if I convert them in radian system, 75 degree, so that would be pi by 180 into 75 into 75. So you can solve this. So this is 15 ones are, then twos are. So this is ones are and twos are. Then this is fives are. So 5 pi by 12. This would be the value. Hmm. So now I believe you understanding. If you take any angle between 0 to 90 degree and sec square plus tan square is 7, then what is the value of theta? So your angle is acute angle, and then it is given that sec square theta plus tan square theta is equal to 2, sorry, is equal to 7. Then we need to determine the value of theta. Then we need to determine the value of theta here. So that is equal to 7. We need to determine the value of theta. And I told you the formula that 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta. In place of sec square theta, I can write 1 plus tan square theta plus tan square theta is equal to 7. So I can write 2 tan square theta, 2 tan square theta is equal to 6. So tan square theta is equal to 3. So tan theta is equal to root 3. So theta is equal to 60 degree or pi by 3. Then theta is equal to 60 degree means pi by 2. So now you see the here when is the time is 3 p.m. you know that the angle is would be 90 degree. It is asking you the circular measure of the angle between hour hand and minute hand. So basically we need to determine the length of the arc. The formula for that is theta by 360 into 2 pi r. So when you see 2 pi r, so here what is the radius? the circular measure of the included angle formed by the hour and minute hand at 3 p.m. So we are considering the value of angle. So the value of angle whenever we look into. So acha, they are just asking the angle. Acha, they are not asking us the length and also 90 degrees nothing but pi by 2. So I was just assuming that you have to find the length of arc. So question number 9, which is a true relation which is exists between the different angles here. So here basically, if you see this, so they're basically talking about the relation between sine theta and sine square theta. So basically, they're here in the question number 9, they're talking about the relation between sine theta and sine square theta. So that you can understand very easily whenever you talk about that relationship. You consider any angle. Suppose the theta is equal to 30 degree. So sine theta would be sine 30 degree would be 1 by 2, while sine square 30 degree means you have to determine the square of 1 by 2, you get 1 by 4. So definitely 1 by 2 will be bigger than 1 by 4, so that you can remember that. So on for normal calculation purpose, you can remember that your sine theta would be greater than the sine square theta. You can always remember. You can take any angle. Maybe you take 90 degree or suppose 60 degree. So sine 60 degree is root 3 by 2, and then if you talk about sine squared 60 degree, so if you work on then that measurement, then it is 1 by 4. So sine theta is root 3 by 4. So then sine square theta is 3 by 4, that is 0.75, and this is 1.732 divided by 2, so we'll get zero point 0.8 something. So with that you can understand that in question number 9, the sine theta would be bigger than sine square theta. Then you can see question number 10. So if theta is acute angle and sine theta plus 18 degrees 1 by 2. So you know that if it's acute angle, so you know that 1 by 2 should be 30 degree. So then only theta is acute angle. So when I say theta is acute angle, so what is the value of angle? So if you see theta is the acute angle, and then so you know that sine it is. So here if you see sine theta plus 118 degree is 1 by 2. So this is cos 90 minus 5 minus 18. Hmm. So now you understand this. So this is nothing but sine theta plus 18 degree is sine 30 degree. So theta is equal to 12 degree. So 18 plus 12. So theta here is 12 degree means pi by 18. When you say 12 degree, it is pi by 18. 12 degree. So 12 into 15 is 180. Now you can see this. So you can see the next question. What is the measure of central angle whose length of the arc is 11 centimeter? So the length is 11 centimeter. They're asking you theta. Theta by 360 degree into 2 into pi. The pi 22 by 7 into r. So the length whose, so here whose radius of the circle is 14. This is 11 to the 2 get cancelled. So this, if you see, this is 180 degree. So the value of your theta would be equal to 180 degree. So in 11th one, the answer is 1 minute. Okay. So the formula what you need to use, that the length of arc is equal to theta by 360 into 2 pi r. So the length of the arc is 11. The length of the arc is 11. We need to find the theta. Theta by 360 into 2 into pi into r. R is 14. So this, so this is 2 the, this is 45 degree. So theta is equal to 45 degree. So very simple calculation. So the theta here is equal to 45 degree. Now question number 12, a triangle XYZ is a right angle at Y, and if the measure of angle X is 60 degree, find the value of sine Z plus 2 by 3. So this is right angle triangle. It is a right angle triangle at Y. This would be 90 minus Y. Fine. Opposite of 90 minus Y would be perpendicular, and adjacent of that become base. So then if I want uh, what is the if measure of angle X is 60 degree, right angle at Y, so it is right angle at Y, and measure of angle X is 60 degree. So 1 minute. So right angle at Y. So this is X, this is Y, this is Z, and this is 60 degree. So this would be 30 degree. And if this is A, this would be root 3A, and this would be 2A, Pythagoras theorem. So this already explained in the triangle chapter. So there I explained this concept. Whenever we talk about right angle triangle, normally they are in the form of 45 degree, and 90 degree, or they can be in the form of 30 degree, 60 degree, and 90 degree. So what is SAC Z? So SAC opposite of that A would become perpendicular. Root 3A is base, and 2A is hypotenuse. Sec is the inverse of cos. Cos theta is base by hypotenuse. So the sec theta would be hypotenuse by base. So this is so hypotenuse by base. This is 2 by root 3. So hypotenuse by base plus 2 by root 3. So the if you do the sum, you'll get 4 by root 3. That is option 1. Now you can see question number 13 in triangle UVW. Measure of angle Y is 90 degree in triangle UVW. So in triangle UVW, it is right angle triangle. So 10U is 12 by 5 and UV is 10. Suppose this is X, you know that 10 theta that is perpendicular by base. So that is 12 by 5 is equal to 10 by X. So with this, you can find the value of X. What is the value of X? So this is perpendicular by base. So 10U. So they're asking you check this. They're asking you this angle U. They're asking you. Hmm. So here angle UVW. So 10U. So this angle they're talking about. So 10U is 12 by 5. So this is 12 by 5 and UV is equal to 10. So UV, so 10U they're asking. So perpendicular is X and base is 10. And here they're given, this is in the, they are in the form where 10U is perpendicular by base. So with this you can find the value of X is equal to 24. What is the length of VW? VW is equal to 24. Now, you can see this question number 14. So, if 10 pi by 2, this question is like this. If 10 pi by 2 and 10 2 theta by pi is equal to 1. So, they are asking you the value of theta. So, here you can put option. By putting option, you can theta, I'll not first put 45 degree because of odd number. Let me put 120 degree. So this would be 1060. And this is how much? 120 I'm putting. So 120 by 524, and then it becomes 48. So this is difficult to determine. So put 90. 90 means 45, and 2 by 5. 2 by 5 5 would be 36 degree. That becomes difficult. So put 100. So 100 will it serve the purpose, because then with 100 you get 50 degree. So 1050 degree we so if you put 100, so this becomes 1050 degree, and this 100 divided by 5 is 20, so this becomes 1040 degree. So 1040 degree into 1050 degree, is it equal to 1? Yes, it is equal to 1, because 1050 degree, you can write 1050 degree as cot 40 degree, because we know that 10 theta is equal to 10 theta is equal to cot 90 minus theta. This is cot 40 into 1040 degree. So cot 40 degree, you can write this is 1 by 40, 1 by 1040 degree into 1040 degree, that is equal to 1. They get cancelled. Fine. Then next question. What is the value of this question number 15? So you know that 1060 degrees root 3. So the answer for that is 2 plus root 3. So this all is there here. So nothing is difficult. So you can easily understand this. So what all we have done. Now see this. Based on this, solve this question. Question number 1. Try to solve this question number 1. Everyone. So take this question number one. How will you get the value? Uh, the answer is 2 for this. So you need to understand here. So if I'm asking you the minimum value of 2 sine square theta, 2 sine square theta plus 3 cos square theta, if I'm asking you the minimum value of this, so if I'm asking you the minimum value of 2 sine square theta and cos square theta, so you know that sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So this I told you. So 2 sine square theta plus, in place of cos square theta I can write 1 minus sine square theta. So this will become 2 sine square theta plus 3 minus 3 sine square theta. So this will become 3 minus sine square theta. So this is 3 minus sine square theta. So you know that what is the minimum value. If I want the minimum value of this, if I want the minimum value of this, so I believe everyone knows that the sine theta value goes between -1 to +1. So the wherever you see the value of psi theta, it is from -1 to +1. So here, if you put the minus value, what if you want the minimum value, so in place of psi theta, you will put -1. So what is the square of -1? So the square of -1 would be +1. So the minimum value of psi theta would be, this value would be, the answer would be 2, because the minimum value of psi theta is -1, and here this is 3. You need to find the minimum value of 3 minus sine square theta. So the square of -1 is +1. So 3 minus 1, the answer would be 2. So like this, the lot of questions are there. Like this, we'll do these questions in the next session. So I hope you have enjoyed this session. So basically, for this the session which we did just now, here we covered easy problem only of trigonometry. Once you have the basic knowledge about different trigonometric ratios, either it is sine theta, or either it is cos theta, or either it is cosec theta, or sec theta, or tan theta, or cot theta, your assessment or working on different trigonometric ratios will become very easy. And in this session I basically covered the all the possible questions which came in previous exams, uh, basically related to SSC, either it is SSC CHSL, or SSC MTS, or SSC CGL, or either it is SSC CPO, so or either Food Corporation of India. So all different government-based exams, what all questions has came based on trigonometry, and all those questions which were easy, we basically covered them in this class. Whenever, like just a quick revision, in trigonometry we basically measure the angle, and that angle we study in the term of theta. Theta is the angle as the distance what a line covers from starting point to the finished point. Where wherever we study trigonometry under three system. Either it is hexadecimal system, or either it is centesimal system, or either it's a circular system. Where is hexadecimal system, one right angle is divided into 90 degree, and 1 degree is divided into 60 minute, and 1 minute is divided into 60 seconds. While in centesimal system, one right angle is equal to 100 grades, and 1 grade is equal to 100 minute, and 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. While in circular system, we talk in the term of radian, and whenever we talk about radian, 1 radian, which is represented like this, 1 radian is equal to pi by 180, while 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radian. So that's how we do. Like if I ask you 30 degree, So 30 degrees, 30 pi by 180. So that is pi by 6. So like this, if I ask you 45 degree is pi by 4. So like that way, we work on the assessment of radians, and we work on the assessment of angles. Here, basically, whenever we talk about uh, terminology, you can remember one thing, that one radian is equal to 57 degree, 16 minute and 22 second, where 1 degree is equal to where 1 degree is equal to 0.01746 radian. You can remember for different competitive exam, if you get the direct question, you get a direct question based on this. Sometime in exam and all, you can do it like that way. So this how you got this value. So when I'm asking this value, so here if you put 180 divided by 22 by 7, so pi is 22 by 7. So 1 radian is equal to how much degree? So basically, you'll get 180 into 7 divided by 22. If you solve this, you'll get 57 degrees, 16 minute and 22 second. Similarly, here if you put 22 by 7 by 180 degree, then here you'll get 0.01746 radian. So you can remember this. This would be helpful for you whenever you work on the angle calculation. This would be helpful for you. So this was the basic introductory session on trigonometry, which is more important for competitive exam point of view. So if you are trying to understand trigonometry, the concepts on trigonometries, which is important for different government-based competitive exam like SSC, CGL, or SSC, CPO, or SSC, or SSC MTS, or SSC, SSC CHSL. Fine. So like this would be helpful for you for all these exams like Food Corporation of India or NABARD or like this. So there are many exams are there. In all these exams, you can expect around 3 to 4 questions easily based on trigonometric ratios. So there, just all concepts on trigonometry, what all I have discussed just now, they all become very relevant for you, all of you, to learn. So although I have made many videos till now, so around 3 videos, 3 or 4, around I think around 4 videos I have made till now on trigonometry, and I started discussing from beginning all these concepts in those videos, and then I increased my level. But the practical implication of those videos would be more important to certain other exams. So here in this session, I try to cover easy questions related to different competitive exams, like just based on simple analogy, that if you know that 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radian, and when if you know that 1 radian is equal to 180 degree by pi, based on that, you can do lot of calculation, and in exam you may get question also based on that concept. So this is all what we have learned in this session. I hope you enjoyed this session. So if you enjoyed this session, if you like this hard work, and if you understood what all I have done, so please click on the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed. I believe you have understood these questions. All were easy only. They are not at all difficult uh, to work on. Fine. So with that intention, I will say goodbye to all of you. So thank you everyone, and please watch the next session on trigonometry, which will come very soon. And please watch all the previous videos also related to trigonometry and related to other application of mathematics, which can be helpful for you whenever you're preparing for competitive exam. So with that, I like to say goodbye to all of you. Thank you everyone. God bless you. Bye.